Our marriage was once peaceful. We laughed in the kitchen while making dinner together. We held hands on evening walks. We dreamed of children, of building a bigger home, of growing old side by side. I used to wake up to the smell of his coffee brewing. He would kiss my forehead and whisper, "You're my whole world." I believed him. I believed every word. For years, I felt safe. I thought nothing could break us. But I was wrong. It started with something small, a missing ring. My wedding ring. The same ring he had slipped on my finger the day he promised to love me until his last breath. One night, I placed it on the nightstand like always, and the next morning it was gone. I searched everywhere, under the bed, in the bathroom sink, in the laundry basket, but it was nowhere to be found. My chest grew heavy. That ring wasn't just jewelry. It was a piece of my soul. It was the symbol of everything we had built together. I told myself not to panic. Maybe I misplaced it. Maybe it would turn up. But deep inside, something felt wrong. The next morning, I walked into the kitchen. The sunlight spilled across the table, and there she was, our maid, standing near the counter. She was laughing softly, and then I saw it. My wedding ring, on her finger. At first, I thought my eyes were lying. I blinked, my heart pounding. But no, it was real. She was wearing it like it belonged to her. She touched it with care, her smile gentle, as though it carried her story, not mine. And then I saw him, my husband. He was leaning against the counter, watching her, not with surprise, not with anger, not like a boss watching his employee, no. He was watching her with warmth, with softness, with a kind of admiration I hadn't seen in his eyes for me in a long time. That look broke me more than the ring ever could. My throat felt dry, but the words stumbled out. Why is she wearing my ring? The room went silent. The maid froze. He looked away. No one answered me. And that silence was louder than every scream in the world. I felt my knees weaken. My heart raced. I wanted to rip the ring off her hand, to scream, to demand answers. That night, I lay in bed with tears soaking my pillow. He didn't come to me. He didn't explain. He didn't even try to comfort me. I was alone in the marriage I thought we both had built. The bed felt like ice. The walls felt like strangers. Days passed. I couldn't get the image out of my mind, her hand wearing my ring, his eyes watching her, but the truth sat heavy in my chest. Finally, one night, I gathered the courage to ask him. We were sitting at the table, the silence thick between us. I looked at him and whispered, "Do you love her?" He didn't answer. He didn't deny it. He didn't fight for me. He just sighed. A long, heavy sigh that felt like a confession. That sigh was the end of us. I pushed my chair back and stood up, my voice breaking. "You could have told me. You could have been honest." He finally spoke then. His words cut me deeper than knives. "You're always working. You're never here. She listens. She gives me time. You give me money, but she gives me what I need." I froze. So that was it. While I worked day and night to build our home, to pay our bills, to make sure we had a future, he found comfort in the arms of another woman. The maid I trusted. The woman I welcomed into our house. My hands shook as I whispered, "So, she gave you time, and I gave you my life. And you still chose her?" He lowered his eyes. He didn't answer. And sometimes silence is worse than betrayal. That night, I packed my bag. My heart broke with every shirt I folded, every picture frame I touched. I wasn't leaving because I stopped loving him. I was leaving because I finally started loving myself. I couldn't share my vows. I couldn't beg for scraps of affection. He didn't stop me. Maybe he was too ashamed. Maybe he was too lost in his own guilt. Or maybe Maybe he didn't care enough to fight for me. Walking out of that door was the hardest thing I ever did. My body shook, my chest ached, but I knew staying would destroy me piece by piece. The nights that followed were brutal. I cried until I couldn't breathe. I stared at the ceiling, asking God why. I gave him everything. My time, my heart, my trust. And in return, he gave my ring to someone else. But slowly, as weeks turned into months, the pain softened. I began to understand something I hadn't seen before. I had loved him more than I loved myself. I had poured all of me into him and left nothing for me. He betrayed me, but I had betrayed myself first by forgetting my own worth. Months later, I heard the affair ended. Of course it did, because men like him don't stay loyal, not even to the one they betray with. Betrayal has no home, it always keeps moving. One afternoon, I saw him again, by accident, in a grocery store. He looked older, tired, and worn down. His eyes found mine, and for a moment, the world stood still. He walked over slowly. His voice cracked when he said, "I miss you." I looked at him, but this time, my heart didn't break. My eyes didn't water. I wasn't the woman he left behind anymore. I had healed. I told him softly, "You didn't lose me because of her. You lost me because of you. Because you forgot me. You forgot us. You forgot the vows you made." He lowered his head. For the first time, I saw regret etched into his face. But regret doesn't fix broken glass. Regret doesn't return stolen trust. I turned and walked away. My steps were steady. My heart was light. For the first time in years, I wasn't broken. I was free. Sometimes it's the beginning of your strength.